I have to just go up a little bit.
Go up?
No, like,
oh, go up.
Yep.
All right, we're going to give it a second for you guys to jump back on the broadcast. This is going to be an absolutely incredible panel. We have got some of the best and top leaders in the network marketing space that we have brought together. I'm just honored that they've all agreed to say yes to be on here and give us their time. So I want to make sure that you are present and that you're taking notes, because this is going to be fire. Legit fire. Like, you're not going to be able to ever pay for the information that you're going to get from these top leaders. I'm talking about in the business for a long time, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years plus, building massive organizations. All right. Some of them are the top in their company. No, I think they all are. Yep, they all are. They're all the top in their company. Yeah, right? So it is going to be fire. So if you have people like lost, just tag them, please. Help them out.
It's pinned, so.
I don't know how many. It's pinned, but tag them. I know people are lost, so it is what it is. So with that being said, let's bring on the incredible speakers. So Miriam Steckety's first, Yasmin Pasqua, Kath Waters, Cassandra Massini, and Leslie Hawker in the house. Don't they all look so beautiful? Do you know I only know beautiful people? Can we just say this out loud? Literally, I only hang out with beautiful people, apparently. Every person is beautiful. I just can't even stand myself. Yeah, that's how I feel. So whatever. And we're going to have a great time today, because I brought on these humans because I have real conversations with them about business all the time. Like, there's never any fluff with us. We don't hype each other up. It's just real. When we're in the slump, we have conversations. When we're up, we have conversations. And I think that's important, that you all can create the same kind of relationships in this industry, because even if you have people that aren't in the same company as you, that you can, you know, kind of run things by, or be in an incredible mastermind with women that get you, you can actually grow faster. Absolutely faster. I truly believe that. I know that from the bottom of my heart. I've been there, and so have these beautiful women. So I'm excited to definitely, you know, let them share their story quickly. Each of you will have, you know, a minute or two to share who you are, a little bit about your story, and then we'll get into the questions. So Miriam, we'll start with you.
I am a mom of 3 little boys. We live in New Jersey. I have been in network marketing at my company for 9.5 years. And yes, I am at the top of the company. We have a team that spans across the globe. I have 18,000 consultants on my team. It's been an incredible ride, but it didn't start that way, you guys. I had a very slow start. I was working in New York City full time when I started this business, and I really wanted to get home to, and I was raised by 2 immigrants, and I never saw my family. I never saw my parents. I was raised by my nanny, and I knew I didn't want that for my son, but I was just repeating history. So when a friend of mine brought this business to me, at first I was like, heck no, I'm not doing that. But then I looked into the business, and I heard about all these success stories. I knew nothing about this industry at all. And I jumped in, and slowly but surely started to build. And I think for me, it was building a team that was collaborative and creating an incredible culture from day one. Is what made me successful, and what created that duplication and created a team where people joined for the opportunity, but they stayed for the community. So that's a little bit about me.
You are known as the community queen and the collaboration queen, so it fits right in with you. And I love it, because you had a baby right before I just had another baby.
So that was like, my third, yeah,
we were right there, and you're like, that's my third. And I'm like, I don't know. I love it. Awesome. Yasmin Pasqua. So I got to tell you guys, Yasmin and I met, oh my gosh, 100 years ago. And I don't even know. I can't even do math in my head right now. I just can't. It's just too much. So Yasmin and I in business. She was actually in the same company as me in our organization. And I fell in love with her. But I got to introduce her to her husband. So I just had to put that out there. Actually, a matchmaker worked. Can you believe that? Like, let's
I
just
was
put that.
actually going to talk about that in my
Okay,
story.
go ahead. I just want to throw it in there. Where's Holly? I love you.
He tried to walk in. I was like, you got to get out. What's up, everybody? Aloha. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a mom of a 4-year-old little boy. I'm a wife. Yes. Marina introduced me to my husband. She actually introduced me to a lot of things. And I'm actually coming to you guys from Hawaii. I'm an East Coast girl. My husband is Hawaiian and we go back and forth. We live in both places, but I've been building my business for 6.5 years now. And I actually met Marina 6.5 years ago because she's a person that introduced me to this business. Prior to all of that, though, I was in the corporate world doing that for 10 years, doing the normal, grind, adding everything to my resume, the credentials, moving up the corporate ladder. I was very active in my community, doing fundraising events, like all the typical things that you would do to be successful in the corporate world. And I got my MBA and I was finally I got to a place where I just felt like I was doing this whole rat race, just spinning my wheels, not getting anywhere. I felt so unfulfilled. But at the time, I thought that I was going to go to law school. I thought I was going to make a big career move and just to a different field. And I thought it was going to be law school. And I did all the things to get into law school. And literally at the right time is when I met Marina. And I will never forget that because for those 10 years I was in the corporate world, I was the biggest hater of network marketing. I had been approached over and over and over again. And I always said no. I wouldn't even go to home parties. That's how much of a hater I was. I wouldn't support anybody. I wouldn't buy their products. And literally I was just in such a place where I wanted something different. I knew there was more out there for me. I wanted to give more, be more. I knew there was a greater potential out there. And so Marina was the first person I talked to about this business. And I was so blown away by her because I remember thinking wow, she's a lot like me. She came from that corporate world. She was in working for Amazon in the finance world. And I was like, she's having success. I can do this too. And so I was finally open. I started my business then, and I was doing it for about 1.5 years while I was working my corporate job. I would do it during my lunch hour, at night, wherever I could fit it in. And then about 1.5 years into that, I was able to leave my corporate job. And I've been doing it full time ever since. Marina introduced me to my husband. That was my dream, was to meet an amazing man and have a family of our own. So grateful for Marina.
I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to keep the water in right now because her son, Kala, is literally the cutest in the world. And Anaya is obsessed with him. And I can't wait to see him again so I can squeeze him. I love you so much. Leslie, y'all, when Leslie talks, y'all listen, okay? Where's Ron? Where's Honey?
He's in the bedroom listening.
All right. Hi,
I didn't know I was supposed to have him here.
Well, I know, but I gotta say hi to him. I just love you two so much, and I'm so grateful. Your energy and your spirit and everything you bring to the Leader Lab is just incredible, and I'm just so grateful. So tell everybody who you are. I mean, I know, but they don't.
Hi, everybody. I think I'm the oldest person here, right, Marina? Probably, yes. So I work network marketing with my husband, Ron Forrester. So, hey, Ron, you can drop a comment in the chat and below. Kisses. So I am a wife. I'm a mom of 2 girls, and I'm a cat mom, and I am boomer to 2 grandkids. So there you go. And I started. So I have a corporate background. I got that was the 5th or 6th female to get the degree I have for the petroleum industry. I have a business degree, which taught me nothing about how to work for myself, how to be a business for myself. So, if you're new to this space, learning how to be an entrepreneur, hats off, congratulations to you. I worked spare time, like Yasmin, while I worked full-time on my job, and I just earned as I learned. And that's what I loved. I had an advantage because in the oil industry, I got an override on every deal I put together. So I understood residual income. And when I got to the executive level at 28, I thought, I'm going to work in the dark, coming home in the dark. I'm working weekends. This is no life. I love to travel. I love to learn. I love to spend time with my family. I love to have fun. And I wasn't having any of that. So then I did a crazy thing and opened the first Pilates studio in Houston. Timing in business is everything. Nobody had heard of Pilates in 1984. So I'm giving you a clue how old I am. But at the same time, my next door neighbor introduced me, said, come over, look at this product. Okay, no internet, no conference calling, no none of that. And, the rest is history. 2 years later, my boss called me into his office and he said, Leslie, you're really good at what you do, but I'm sorry you make too much money. And, oh yeah, we're going to put the 2 people you've been training in your job. So I think everybody in today's world knows they need a plan B. And that's really what we talked about, 40 years ago, a long time ago. We met Marina, Ron and I met Marina through a friend. And because we had retired, came out of retirement in 2011 to help launch a new company. All our friends told us, you're insane, new company, which that is true. Part of it had to do with the owner. I'm not recommending, I really don't recommend new companies. So much work. From 2011 to 2000, Marina, when did we meet? It's been 2018, 19.
I think beginning of 2018.
Yeah, December of 2018. Yes.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
It's our anniversary.
Right.
What are we doing,
Yes.
Leslie?
No, maybe it was December of 2019, right? That may be. That's what it was.
Maybe.
It's been a year. It's our anniversary.
It is, yeah.
So what I want to say is that you mentioned in your last piece, Marina, about being a leader. Leaders learn. I love being in the leader lab. I love learning from everybody. I love great ideas. I love the collaboration. If you're at the top of your company, which we are, then you have to collaborate with other people. And Marina, you've been so much fun. And so I just want everybody to know I've been a young entrepreneur my entire life. That's my mindset. So I still think I'll be 39. How's that?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I agree 5,000%. Because you keep me on the ball. You and Ron are quick. I thought I was quick. They are just as quick, or sometimes they're quicker, right? We were just talking about it. We're like, dude, they're on point. And that's good. So I love it. I love it. Thank you, Leslie. Cassandra. What's up, boo? Your hair looks so beautiful.
Thank you. It's that good Florida cold weather here.
Yeah, I know, right? Like literally, what happened? The whole right side of the house blew out because we had heaters and lights plugged in. So they had to bring a handyman over because we blew it off. That's how cold we were. Yeah. Well, all right, let me stop. Go ahead, love. Tell everybody who you are, your story, a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for having me here. Super excited. My name is Cassandra Massini, and I got introduced to network marketing back in 2015 from a friend. And I didn't know anything about it other than she said, hey, you should check this out. I think you'd be great at it. And once I caught the vision of what was possible, at the time I was working in the service industry, full-time bartending, serving, and I was good at it. I made great money, but I hated, I never had my time. And I just felt like my purpose was bigger than that. I didn't want to do that forever. And I was actually going to school to be an accountant, a CPA. So long story short, I actually quit accounting a year early. I just thought, what if I just give this my all? Now, I started off slow. It took me probably almost like a full year to really start getting into the business. And I know I don't have the tools that we have today. I didn't know anything about anything. But what I knew is I had a vision of what I didn't want my life to be like. And that lit my soul on fire. And I just became obsessed with my business.
Like one of you ladies were saying, I just made it a priority, and every second I could work my business, I did. I was the person going in the bathroom at work and, getting back to messages and things like that. Long story short, I actually ended up my job that I worked at said, you have to pick one or the other, which, by the way, wasn't okay with me, right? You have to pick this business or we want you all in here. And obviously I chose network marketing. Now, I'm not saying to go quit your jobs or do anything like that, but I needed to make a shift or I'd literally still be there today. So I took a chance, I took a risk, and because of that, everything had changed for me. And now, I work this business with my husband, who I also met in the profession. We now have a business together. And we don't have kids yet, but we do have 2 fur babies. We love what we do. We love making an impact on people. But for me, the scary thing to think is what if I didn't say yes? What if I didn't try? What if I still did the same thing? So that's kind of a little bit about my story.
I love it. I love it. Hi, what's up, love? I just see Rhiannon just joined. So Rhiannon, she will also share her story, but she was part of the panel too. Sorry, I didn't see you sitting there because I was so focused. The nerves just get me a little woo-woo. So hi, welcome, boo. All right, so let's go to Kath and Rhiannon. You'll be last. So Kath, go ahead. Let's talk about your story. By the way, when Kath talks, everyone listens because her accent. Ready for this? And go. Oh, wait, I got to unmute you. You got it.
I did it. Hey, Marina. Hey, everybody.
Hello, darling. Hello, darling.
Hello. So I'm Kath from the UK, and I've got 2 kiddies. Well, they're 18 now and 21. Been married for 29 years. And my background is in retail. So I was a manager in retail and corporate for 23 years, and life was just crazy. But I knew that there was something else. I knew I didn't want to do that. I missed both my baby's first steps, and I think that's how I related to Marina so well for her story, because I just, it was like along the same path. So I joined network marketing. I fell in love with the products, cut a long story short. That was 12 years ago. And in the first 2 years, I went really fast. And then I got stuck. And I'm not going to get emotional. But I met Marina and online. And it just she just changed my life. Literally, I've got the Leader laptop on. Hope you can see this. So I've been part of the Leader Lab now for about 18 months. And what was happening was, I was winning in my team. I was winning, but my team weren't winning. And that it just got me I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. And what Marina did for me was she believed in me. And I think that is huge. So that's why I'm so big on culture. I'm so big on culture in our team, because Marina believed in me, and that's what happened. So I got stuck for 10 years in my network marketing. And then after working with Marina for 12 months, I rank advanced for the first time in 10 years by following Marina's systems, just like Kimberly. Whatever Marina said, that's what I was going to do. That's literally what I was going to do, whatever she's told me to do. And that's what happened. And now the whole team are winning. And it's just absolutely incredible, because we were working home parties. We were out 3 evenings a week. We were working belly to belly. We weren't working online on social media at all. And I think, well, I know full well, having been through the COVID, if it wasn't for Marina, if it wasn't for me taking my systems online and following, what Marina was saying, I would not have a business. I would not have a business right now. And here I am, rank advancing, and the whole team is winning. So thank you, Marina, from the bottom of my heart. I did well then not to cry, but thank you to you in the Leader Lab. Incredible.
Holding it back. You guys are killing me today. Like the lashes. I love it. Kath, let me just explain something. I'm not going to say what company she's with, obviously, because we don't want to do that. But just imagine a company that's been around forever. They say the forever companies you can't get to the top of. That's not true. And Kath is such a great example of that, because in a company that you would be like, oh, no, it ain't going to happen. She said, what? 10 years out of rank advance? I don't care. I'm going to do what it takes. The company wasn't supportive of her building online at all. And she didn't care and did it anyway. And now they're on her coattail. You better believe it. They've got her speaking and all of the things. So I just want you all to know right now that if you're trying to build online and people are poo-pooing it, I mean, hello, COVID, are we serious? Like, really? And even if it wasn't COVID, do it. so you could be home with your kids. Rhiannon, how about you, my love? Will you say hello to everybody, tell everybody who you are and a little bit about your story, and then we're going to get into the questions.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here with y'all today. I'm so excited. And I think there's a few of us Floridians that are freezing today. So I'm not the only one. But man, all day long I've been sitting here shivering. I'm like, this is why I moved away from the north. So at any rate, thank you again, Marina, for having me today. I have been in network marketing for over a decade. I've been in a few different companies. My very first one I actually ended up filing bankruptcy after. So that absolutely could have detoured me from this industry, from being successful, but I was young and I needed to find something for when I did have a family. And I ended up having a family, and my daughter was born missing part of her immune system. And so I constantly had to choose between putting food on the table or being there for my kid. And it was not a good feeling to be in. And I had a similar situation that I had to choose between teaching, because I'm a former teacher, or being at home and being a mom, where I needed to be, but still be able to make an income. So I chose, obviously, to be at home with my daughter. My boss at the time was like, why don't you just go sell that thing then? And I'm one of those people that get fired up when people kind of like, tink, 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 like just light a fire under me, right? So I was like, well, fine, then I'm going to go do that. And just a couple months later, I was like, peace out, I'm done. And they were like begging me to stay. And I said, no, my family's more important. I've hit my financial goal. I'm out of here. So that's the shortened version of my story, but I'm super excited for this industry. And, you know, you go through changes and you learn different things. You have different leaders sometimes of you learn what to do, what not to do, right? I've had a few of those. And I'm incredibly thankful to have been surrounding myself the last year and a half with such high level leaders, so that way I could pull from them ideas of things that I was never taught, and especially getting coaching. I encourage every single person to find a coach that doesn't profit off of you, because you're going to learn things that you never really thought were things you needed to know. And you're like, wow, I didn't even know that that was a thing, right? So for me, that's been a game changer in my confidence, because I did have a situation previously where just things got a little bit chaotic and drama filled. And so being able to step away from that and work with somebody that was outside of all of the chaos was absolutely essential for me to be able to remember why I love this industry and remember why I got in the first place.
I love that. That's such an and I love the honesty, and I love that you share that you had drama. I think we've all faced some sort of drama. And this wasn't a question, but whatever, you brought it up. And I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about, right? There's sometimes where there's headbuttings with people in your organization. You know, I share all the time where I had an organization, and Yasmin knows, where I had literally close to 200,000 in volume that disappeared overnight because I butted heads with a leader. And this was back in 2014 when I was that person I tell you guys about. And that for me was a big learning moment. And that would have deterred a lot of people, but I didn't. I just decided I was going to rebuild, right? And so drama will happen, but I would love to hear from, you know, Yasmin, and I would love to hear from Leslie. So let's start with you, Yasmin. If there is drama that pops up, like, because I know you and I know how you love the drama, right? I'm just kidding. She can't stand it, right? So Yasmin, when there is, as a leader, when there is drama in the organization, whether it's directly with you or whether it's somewhere in the organization, what is like your go-to way of like dealing with it?
There we go. Definitely, I run away from drama. I'm actually somebody that doesn't have much drama in my life. So I also feel like, you know, thank goodness I don't now have drama in my business. I mean, it happens every now and then when you're dealing with people and different personalities and different backgrounds, it's going to happen. But one of the biggest things I learned, and I actually learned it from Marina, because in our previous company, I had major drama too. I don't know if Marina remembers. It was huge. It literally, it was a very humbling moment for me. Like it changed my organization completely. And it was cancer. So what I learned from that is, like, when you have any kind of drama from the beginning, you got to nip it in the bud, because if you know, we know cancer spreads and it spreads, and that's exactly what happened then. And so what I learned from, you know, from Marina is like, you have to nip it in the bud. And not only like, you know, when there's drama happening in your business, but if you create something in your business, it's like you got to take ownership of that and take responsibility and humble yourself, let go of the ego, and really own up to it and apologize. And I remember I did in that previous drama that I had. It was such a learning experience for me. Like that was the only thing that at that time I could do was just take ownership in my part. But I think the biggest thing is like, you have to nip it in the bud from the beginning so that it just doesn't continue to go on and on. And I also believe, you know, as we grow, like as we grow our minds, as we personally develop, we actually become these people where we start to attract less and less of that. So that's what I've noticed in my business as I've grown as a person, as a leader, as I've grown my mind. Like I hardly have any of that come up, but when I do, I address it right away. So I think that's like one of the key things, but it will
Especially
happen.
with women.
It will happen.
I mean, the hormones. Can we just all blame the hormones? You know, but it is. I know personally, I've been, like I said, back in 2014. Like I was not the best leader on the planet, but that's that learning, that's that growth, and we just have to stay open to always learning and for that constructive criticism. Sometimes it hurts. It's gonna hurt when we get that, and taking ownership for something that, you know, it sucks. It feels like, oh, I screwed up. And it doesn't mean you failed. It means you're growing. So I love that. Leslie, I mean, you probably have been through, you know, different organizations of drama and had different things go on. How do you and Ron handle it?
That's a great question. And like Yasmin, you do have to handle it immediately. And I think, Marina, I'd like to give a couple of tips on how to have those conversations. So first of all, what Marina just shared with everybody, you're going to say, I've learned to say, I'm sorry, even when I don't feel like I should be apologizing for anything. And that's okay. Just sometimes that's what it takes to get through. The other thing is you have to think about, am I pouring gasoline on the conversation or am I putting the fire out? So you have to have, you know, with Zoom, you can have a face-to-face conversation. If it is on the phone, that's okay, but you've immediately got to get on the phone, on a Zoom, have a one-on-one conversation, hear the person. And my advice to you is you do not say to the person, I understand, because when you do that, it messes up your message because you don't understand. You don't understand why they're causing the drama. So you can use the words, I respect you, or I respect and, I hear and, I appreciate and, have you ever thought about this? If you use those words, I appreciate, I respect, I agree, because all of those things, if you're pouring gasoline on that fire, they're never going to hear you. And the last tip that I have, one thing I learned, it's so funny, and Marina, Ron and I do this with each other when, you know, we're facing a roadblock, is to first, when I'm talking to somebody, I find something to compliment them about, something they've done right. I call it catching people doing things right. And then asking, if I was Marina, I'd say, oh my gosh, you know, you're amazing, people love you, etc. Do I have permission to give you some feedback? Do I have permission to coach you? And we all wanted permission when we were children. And it's still a mental thing. So when I'm like, oh my God, should I do this? And Ron will be like, oh, I give you permission. And we laugh. We know, but when I say, you have my permission to give me feedback, then, and I've actually had somebody say no to me. Somebody who was causing all kinds of drama said no. And then I said, okay, talk to you later. And then immediately went around. Now, the next day, it drove her nuts. The next day, she came back to me and said, okay, I'm ready for some coaching. Because if you've ever been in an argument with anyone, if they're not open, they're not hearing you. And I tend to be a very visual person. I've got to see it, but I've had to really work at hearing people. And the giving permission piece is just so asking, can I coach you? And then they're open. Their brain goes, oh, okay. So those are my best tips. Hopefully that helped.
I love it. I think it's so important that people know how to pivot in those situations, because if it's okay to know that it could happen, but then like, how do you pivot from it? Do you need to sneeze?
What I did was when the person said no to me, it's my business too. I went around her, started having conversations, letting people know I'm here.
I think a lot of times people are like, oh, well, that leader, I don't want to, go around them, So I think sometimes that can be a little bit of a headbutt, because there are leaders that are like, don't talk to my organization.
Well, I've had lots of people say that to me.
Yeah.
And I just tell them, I appreciate that. And it's my business too.
Yeah. I could have used that before I lost 200,000 volume back in 2014. I did. Check. We'll use that now. But I love that. And I think too that you were asking for permission. So, and I know you as a leader and who you are, and I didn't have those leadership skills back in the day. I love that. Okay, so here's my next question. And then we'll go to Miriam, and then we're going to go to Kath. So what are 2 ways that you create team culture virtually, especially right now? Like everything's virtual, so we can't get together really at all. Some are, whatever, but you can't, right? Let's just say. So what are some ways virtually that you're creating community within your organization? So Miriam, we'll start with you, babe. Go ahead. I don't know why I only let you mute.
Oh, yeah. No worries. I think it's so important right now to be face-to-face. So we do a lot of Zooms. And something my team has been doing just for prospects is we're calling them Zoom ways, like 3 ways on Zoom. And anybody can invite their prospects to just talk to me. And it's like a really fun Q&A. And I have the other consultants chatting. And it's like a really small, nice little kind of get together instead of getting together at like a bar or, a lounge or doing events. It's our kind of way to do events and close people. And that's been really easy. The second thing is just using that Facebook group, and I am just pouring gasoline on that. And I'm constantly posting recognition tips and things that like I'm currently doing. Something that I really think is important right now, and it took me a while to figure this out, is not using the words I and you when you're posting and when you're doing your Facebook lives, but saying we're doing this, we're all in this together. This is our vision. And so kind of creating that human aspect and that we're in this together as a team. And I know yesterday that we talked a lot about that too, but I think it's so important that, your newbies feel a part of the team and that you're talking to everyone like an equal. Second thing I think that has worked for me and my team for 9 years now is doing coaching programs like a 30-day run or a 6-week program or a 4-week program. Right now we're doing something called 'Tis the Season to Sell Your Business. And every week we're getting together on Zoom and we're doing recognition for getting new customers, getting new recruits, but also for doing the activity, doing events, doing posts, doing things like that. But I think the most important piece of this is part of the homework is always getting into small groups and practicing together. Okay, this is huge. This changed my business. When I did my first program like this, my team was maybe 10 people. And I put people into groups of 3. And every week they had to come together and they kind of made these little teams. And those sidelines, those people that started with me 7 years ago, 6 years ago, they still talk about those sidelines that are now still their accountability partners. So making sure that everyone on your team has other little communities inside of it of people that are higher than them in rank, lower than in them, and then those sideline sisters, because it is not about your upline. Your upline is not going to do this business for you, and your team isn't going to do the business for you. It's about finding those sidelines to partner up with. And I know we talk about that a lot. When your team feels that you are all about collaboration, they're going to want to collaborate. That's going to duplicate down, and that's going to create duplication, because you guys, now I have thousands of people on my team. I can't do everything I was doing in the beginning. So you have to foster and create those small little relationships for people, especially new consultants, right away, so they don't quit, so they feel a part of a community and they have places to go when they have questions, because you can't be doing this business all day long, right? Especially as a top leader, it's all about creating time freedom too. So
I love that you just said
those are some of my tips for you.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing. I wrote it down. Love the 'tis the season to slay your business. So cute. I literally have all these ideas in my head with that. I love that. That's Kath, what about you? What are some ways that you create culture in your business?
Well, I would say through our Facebook group, our team Facebook group is absolutely on fire. And I think it's because of the love. We just love on everybody, because I was in a place for many years where I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. Do you know when you're in part of a group or an organization and people are recognized for doing the top things? And I'm like, I never get there. That's not me. I didn't feel like I was ever good enough. And all that, and all that history, all that going on, which is good because it taught me how I didn't want to be as a leader. And so our community is definitely based on love. I want every single human in that group to feel special and to feel welcomed. And it doesn't matter if they're there for a discount on the products. It doesn't matter if they're there for the community. The community is huge, or whether they're there for to earn some extra money, a couple of £100 or dollars, or a couple of thousand. So it doesn't matter why they're there. Everybody, I want to feel special and that they're important. And I think that that comes through massively, because I never want anybody to feel that they don't belong. So we do we do a welcome video. We welcome everybody into the group, to start with, so that's huge. And then when somebody new joins the group, it's like, hey, welcome, Sarah. Oh my gosh, amazing to have you here. Can't wait. I'm excited to slay with you. And the whole team, join in. So that person feels really welcomed into the community. And then one of the things I love doing, and I think I heard it from Catherine Medeiros, is it, in the Leader Lab, and that is I do a post every week. So this is something that you could implement into your group straight away, and a post every week, and asking everybody to share their wins. So share your wins, big or small, whatever they are, and it could be for having first team member, for having their business park arrive. It could be for doing their first curiosity post, for doing absolutely anything, doing a first Facebook Live, posting on their stories for the first time. So people write down that there, they share their wins. And then what we do is we have a star of the week. We have a rising star of the week. And I think the team just love that, because they don't expect to be the star of the week. And it's not even based on maybe a business activity. It could be they've passed their driving test. I don't know, they've, something's happened in their life. So we recognize for that as well. So it's not just about the business. It's about recognizing people for everything, where they're at in their life and what's important to them. And I think the other tip really is to recognize behavior. So instead of recognizing volume, recognize behavior. So if someone's placed their first order, they get recognized, and they get cheered on. If someone's, done their first curiosity post, they get cheered on. So it's, our team group is just crazy, with everybody recognizing, everybody loving on each other, and everybody feeling special and welcome, whether they're not doing any volume or whether they're doing massive volume. So I think that's really important, to come from that place of belief that we believe in you, we love you, and you're part of our community.
I love that. And the fact that you've been consistent with all of that, and what most won't see is that they'll do it for a couple weeks and then they stop because, nobody's paying attention to it. Mm-hmm. Well, it takes more than a couple weeks or even a couple of months sometimes for people to catch on to things. Repetition is very key in this organization, in this business. I remember having that conversation with you. I was like, Kath, It's right around the corner. Like, it's right there, babe. Like, I know you're putting in all this hard work and it's coming on that other side. Literally on that other side was just like massive momentum for your team. So I'm so proud of you for that. So, all right. So Cassandra, let's go to the next question. And it's right here, Marina, right there. Yeah. When you get somebody into the business, like you enroll them, what is like your first go-to? What is that first go-to thing that you do with someone when you first enroll them into the business? Like if you enrolled me today, what's that first thing you would have me do?
First thing I'd have you do is make a curiosity post. Get those leads going, get those people raising their hand wanting more info. We actually have templates to show people how to make a curiosity post. Even if they haven't had maybe they just came to the business and haven't even experienced the products yet, there's those options, or if they already have a story to share, then we'll kind of share a layout, which I always tell them, make sure you share the struggle. People want to hear what you struggled with. They love the result, but they're not there yet, right? So I always make sure that, and of course we share with them, keep it curiosity. Don't be posting the products. People want to see you. They follow you for you. So we kind of have a specific thing for them to follow, but absolutely a curiosity post. And for those of you that are even maybe new on Facebook or don't have a big Facebook account or social media following, we just enrolled a business partner a few months ago and he didn't even have a Facebook. So I recommended him to create a Facebook, and now he's built a Facebook in a short period of time and a following. And so just know that you don't have to have this massive Facebook following. You can start, from scratch and, build from there, but always
I love that,
curiosity
Rhiannon.
posts.
How about you, babe? What's like that first go-to?
So for our team, one of the things that I have implemented in the last year was basically like a welcome form. And in that, I get their information, whether that be their address, their shirt size, their kids' names, all that information. Because when your organization gets huge, you can't have a personal connection with every single person. But sometimes it's nice just to plop something in the mail and surprise them, right? Call a happy mail. So getting all that information, as soon as they get that, they get a text message with the first steps that they need to do, exactly that, a curiosity post of why they're so excited and what they're looking forward to doing, and kind of giving that drip of, okay, I'm going to keep you updated on my progress. And then when it comes, they can do an unboxing. So it's a step-by-step format for them to be able to launch themselves in business without feeling overwhelmed and having to bug all the friends and family, as we all know we hate, right?
It doesn't matter how long I'm in the business. Friends and family still give me the agita, like the ugh in my stomach. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. Let me go talk to strangers. Totally.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've always loved the saying that friends and family won't make you rich, but they will give you practice, right? So if you can deal with the rejection from your friends and your family,
perfectly
then you're
fine, because some of their Facebook should not hurt your feelings. That's for sure. I love that. I love that form. I think that's so awesome and so important, because I wrote it down. Because it's true, like there are times when I literally will go in the back office, then I go and I stalk on Facebook, and then I look, and then I do the happy mail too, like where I send them something in the mail. But I would love to have a little bit more of a cheat sheet so I don't have to spend hours doing that. Hello. I love it. I just learned.
Yeah. It's super nice, especially when you're doing like shirts, and if like they shop at TJ Maxx instead of Target, like you can just plop something custom to them in there, and they feel, even though if they don't have a connection to you, they feel like, wow, someone actually cares enough about me and what I'm interested in, instead of just giving me a Starbucks card and I don't even drink coffee.
Like I literally love that. Gold right there. That's like $1 million nugget, just an FYI, because that's a way to keep that culture going. So let's talk about team Facebook groups, and this will be the last question, and I'm going to have each of you answer it. So, because I have time for that, right? Oh, yeah, we're good. Let me just say this real quick. By the way, guys, I'm going to be doing all of my trainings at the end of the day because I did not want to cut this panel short. This is an important panel. So the next training after me, I'll tell you, is Candace Carter with the 333 and the scripts. Hello? Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and that is at 3:20. So right after this. So we're good. Okay. We're good in the hood. So what was I saying? Oh, Facebook groups. Okay. So let's talk about the team Facebook group. And then let's just talk about the team Facebook group because it's about culture and the onboarding. So a lot of the times people will be like, oh, my team Facebook group is dead. Nobody's paying attention to me. Boo hoo. Like, and I know I've been there before. I'm like, dude, what's going on? And obviously people will think that momentum has to do with the Facebook group. And sometimes that's true, but I find that sometimes it's not always true. And in my opinion, the team Facebook group is a place for training and celebrating. But I know that other teams do it differently. But I can tell if people are working in the back office. So I don't care if the Facebook group's dead, just going to keep it 100 with you. But what are your guys' thoughts on how are some ways that maybe you activate your team or get their attention if you're going to do a training, or if there's something they really need to see? What are some ways, and maybe there's some ways outside the Facebook groups that you guys connect with your teams? You know, Rhiannon just talked about, texting. We do that with Project Broadcast too. We think that's so important to be able to text outside of the Facebook group because, we don't always get the notifications. So Miriam, let's start with you and then we'll go over. Wait, I got to unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So my Facebook group is pumping and jumping usually, but of course there are those times where I'm like, wait, sometimes the algorithms are being funny and I feel like people aren't seeing things. So I'm just going to go old school. I'm going to put up a quick contest that's like 24 hours, just something simple. Everyone post X and comment below, screenshot it below for a chance to win something so simple, $20 gift. It doesn't have to, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And that usually does two things. I get to see who's working, and I get other people that are like, oh, I don't have an idea for that. They're seeing the screenshots of what other people are doing. And so they're like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. So I think you guys said it before, celebrating the activity and not necessarily the result, I think is key, especially for the people who aren't at the tippity top. Most of your team is not going to be at that top level. So you want to celebrate and get people excited and motivated by doing something simple. And it's not necessarily just get a new customer today, but post this or reach out to 5 people and screenshot, what you sent. Or I'll just run a report for recognition, who recruited, the top recruiters so far for the month, or the top X or Y, or the top newbies for the month. So I'm constantly trying to do things out of the box to keep them on their toes, and there is a lot of people know what to expect, but then also coming up with new ideas of how to recognize and just throwing something up. Like I'm literally posting something right now. I'm about to post something on my page because you guys inspire me to do something. So.
I love that. She's like, hi, I'm a top leader making lots of dough, a lot of crap of money, a lot of money. What was I saying yesterday? I don't even remember. Literally, and that's the best part is that we're, as leaders, we're still learning from each other. You guys, you need to be
a lot of notes, girls.
A lot of notes, absolutely. Yasmin, what about you, lovey? So what are some ways outside of the group or in the group, some ways that you spark some engagement?
Yeah, okay, so ours is usually pop in too, but there's moments, and I agree with Marina, that doesn't necessarily mean nothing's happening in the business, right? Some people are just super laser focused on what's actually the activities in their business. But I think it's very similar to what some of you ladies said, what Miriam said, what Kat said, is when you focus on celebrating like the little things, like so-and-so did their launch post, their curiosity post, they got us in 3-way chats, right? They just made a sale, like the little things. When you're constantly doing that and you're creating that kind of culture in your group, it's really hard for it to be quiet. So I would say, those types of things, just always encouraging the activities, and not always highlighting just like the big producers and, those types of things, but you're just doing the activity. But also I like to go out of the group. Actually, a lot of what happens is out of our group, and we have a team chat. So we have a big team chat. We also have, like, when we get new team members started, we have just like a team chat for them where we work with them one-on-one. And that's actually where a lot of our culture and community comes together, because we're all rooting for each other. We're supporting each other, especially towards the end of the month. We all really come together as a team, and we just lift each other up. We support each other. We celebrate each other, and everybody's got their back. And in the, in the big team chats, it's all sideline people. So it's just a great culture to have. And I know some people, they get turned off by the chats, but I really feel like that's where you create your cultures, in the chats. And then the group can be, you can create the culture in the group too. But, it's going to happen a lot where we're all just talking, right? Like that's where we have like our sisterhood, and, we create those bonds, is like we're in it all day long talking to each other.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys can take it outside Facebook. There's Voxer, there's WhatsApp, right? There's, Veronica was talking about WhatsApp yesterday. So there's other ways that you guys can, have chats with your teams, but I think they're still important. And that's why I don't worry about the Facebook group not popping off. It's more of, if there aren't questions that are being asked inside of the chats, and if people aren't helping each other, then that's when I'm kind of like, oh, wait, what's going on? Now, our leaders have created their own chats at that point, so I'm not too worried. But I'm saying, like, that's mostly where we spend a lot of our time as well. So I love that. Kath, what about you? What are some ways that you re-sparked a team that was, basically dead for a while, right? Like, what are some things you did?
I think engagement posts are amazing. And it could be just like a simple engagement post, especially this time of year, like who's put the Christmas tree up? So it just like brings everybody back into the group, and then they start engaging on other things. So engagement posts are amazing. Also, I think it's important that the team don't hear me speak all the time, and they don't hear the leaders speak all the time. So what we've recently been doing are some social media quick wins. So it might be even like brand new team members who are excited with the 333 process, or excited with a referral post or something. And then they do their training on what they're doing, how they've been successful, because other team members think, wow, like they've just come in, like they can do it. So it's really good for not the leaders to be speaking all the time. I think that's important to have new faces in there. And also team raffles. Team raffles are amazing. I love them. And they're just fab, because you can create like an event so everybody gets notified. And it could be, and when I do a raffle, I want everybody to be able to take part. Yeah. So it's going to be something super simple. So it might be like getting a referral post out, curiosity post out, taking a screenshot, posting it in the comments under here. And then I choose, and just somebody, we do a raffle, and they might win like £25, $25 or $50 or something. So, and it's for something that everybody can get involved in. So I think that's the main thing to get that buzz back, is having that engagement for everybody. That's what it's important for me, for everybody to have, that they feel special. Mm-hmm.
It's important. I remember when I first got started, and for 2 years, I never felt like I was going to be recognized, because I wasn't a massive recruiter. I wasn't selling a lot, and honestly, like they couldn't see what I was doing because it wasn't on social media too. So like I was driving an hour and a half to go to meetings and show up to trainings, and I had one guest with me, and that guest just didn't enroll, or I had no one show up, but I was still doing those things. And honestly, I needed a pat. I'm the type where I need a pat on the back every now and then. I'm not going to lie. Like I act like I'm strong and I'm good, but like, I'm like, Jason, like, can you tell me I did good today? Literally, I'll say that to him and he just laughs at me. So I needed that, and I wasn't getting that for a while. And I remember that feeling, and I don't want anyone on my team to have that feeling. So I will go out of my way. I get VAs to recognize them for their birthdays. I'll do whatever I can, because recognition is the biggest piece that's missing in our culture as people, right? And so I love that, Kath. Rhiannon, how about you, babe? What are some of the things that you do?
So we actually do not have a team Facebook group. We always go with your strengths, and I absolutely agree with the chats. So we have team chats. And so we use Telegram. And one of the things that I got from one of my coaches was to work with your team off of Facebook. Okay. You don't ever know when your Facebook is going to go down. There's a lot of people that are having that issue right now. And so I have done that, and it's been a game changer for me. So Facebook is a place I go to work. and Telegram is the place I go to help my team. So it keeps it separate. And instead of having 95 messages from my team in my inbox, I can go to my messenger and work my personal business. So that for me is a huge thing just for you guys as leaders or anything like that. Just separate the two, because you will be so incredibly glad that you did. Because when your mindset is to go help your team, you're going to go help your team. It's easier to get caught in the scroll hole when you're on Facebook for everything, right? So we use Telegram. We have a pinned post on there, have unit section in a Dropbox, literally the same format without the chaos of trying to search a Facebook group. So everything that they need is going to be available to them there. And we also have a team leaderboard. They fill out a form, and it's just a Google sheet, really, and it just creates a graph and it shows us. So if they're not seeing the results, maybe it's because they're not doing enough action, right? So this form is for action. It's not necessarily for the results. It's a blend of both. Like, how many people do you invite to our event this week? Oh, 0. Oh, we have 0 enrollments. Here's why, right? So if you're not tracking your business, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. So it instills that accountability while helping to celebrate people for their actions and activity. So it's a multifaceted thing. And then also every single day in my personal DMO, I strive to have a shout out every single day. That's something that has been a game changer, because it's just something sometimes like, hey, Heather, I know you've been like busting your ass at work for the last 2 weeks, working 60 hours, but here you are and you've maintained your rank, right? So it's something this to help people, and it keeps me focused on other people's activities, keeps me plugged into their lives, because everybody has stuff going on. This is the busiest time of year. So now's the time you want to continue to have those people reeled in and tight close to you. So that way when January comes, they're still running and they didn't take all of December off, right? So for those are big things, but we do pop-up things in our group chat. And we have an announcement channel. So all the important stuff goes out on that. Team calendar, a Google calendar. So we use most everything except for our ATM group off of Facebook, especially if you have people that are international. We run into people that don't have a Facebook. So it's a lot easier for them to hop on Telegram because of international data usage problems and concerns, right? Versus, hey, I got to go download Facebook, which is a huge suck of my data. And that could be a huge constraint for them to be working their business just to stay plugged in. So those are some things that we've done to help globally and locally build community.
I love that. And I love the fact that you're talking about bringing it off Facebook. One of the biggest things that we share is if you're going to have a Facebook group, that's fine, but that can't be the only place. A lot of people are building on TikTok right now. A lot of people are building on Instagram, right, on social media. And so if they're on TikTok, most of them will say, I don't have Facebook. Believe it or not, that will happen. So if you don't have a launch process that can work on all social media platforms, if you don't have a place where anybody can plug in, even if they don't have that social media platform, that could be a problem. So just a really quick fix for you guys on that is taking your launch system and putting it on a Wix website. It's free, right? Wix is free. Wix.com, I think it is, or something. And just quickly putting the simple launch system right there where everyone can see. And if you're like, oh, I'm worried about other teams seeing it, that's not an abundant mindset, and let it go. Please let it go. Well, I don't want other people's, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Jeez, people, right? And the other thing I'll say too is, please, if you're using ManyChat to launch your teams, some of you leaders might be doing that, stop it right now. Get off of ManyChat. Facebook is going to probably get rid of ManyChat, or you're going to have to pay to use ManyChat. I don't know if you've seen, but like I have to pay to get my ManyChat Betty bot out to you guys. Do not use ManyChat. Use a texting platform outside. Please do not use ManyChat. I just have to say that because ours gets shut down all the time. And I follow the rules. So
Marina, I had that same problem because my onboarding system was with a bot originally, and I spent like 6 months like perfecting it, and then all of a sudden they're like, boop, you're gone. And I was like, oh, this sucks a lot. So that's when we started transferring to doing chat or doing text messages from the ManyChat, because it just was too much of a headache to try to keep up with all their terms of service and changes and everything else. So
it was exhausting. It's exhausting. Absolutely. Yeah. And you never know what's going to happen on social. Yeah, we're using it as a tool to build our business, but that we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket with only putting it. So I have it on YouTube. We have it on Instagram. We have it on Facebook, and we have it where anyone can access it on a URL, right? So that's the other piece that needs to be, and that's really important. So Leslie, what about you? What are some ways that you connect with the team, or because you have an international team as well?
I do. And I want to ask questions of the panelists. So I'll go in the comments and ask. I like the Telegram piece. I've not used that. So what I do inside the team, we still do a weekly Zoom. And we do have a team Facebook group, which is where they get to post what they've done and recognition and all of that. But one of the things that I've learned is every time that I'm talking with a team, every training that I do, at the end, there's some small assignment that's geared to activity. And so while I was listening to this, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this tonight. And, I've watched you, $50 Amazon gift card. It's amazing what people will do. They'll focus on the activity, which is what I want them to do. Our ad tag message, our ATM groups, those are popping right now. And that's where most of the activity is. And we also do a team Facebook Messenger chat where they're helping each other. I love it because, I come in there once a day and make sure there's nothing nuts going on. But our team in Korea, they don't do any other app but Kakao. And they've got a group, there's like 200 or 300 of them in there. And it's so much fun because I just pop in there at the end of the month and say, congratulations. If you've ever seen the stickers that Asia uses, it's just a blast. And they celebrate. So really what I've learned from them, and these are all new moms, age 30 to 45, no experience in network marketing, is to celebrate each other, is celebrate someone that got a new brand got a new distributor, someone that got a new customer. And so really listening to everybody here, I'm taking notes. I'm sitting here taking notes.
I know, I'm just like you, Leslie. I'm over here like, okay,
I can't even understand my notes at this point. But
I know. It's okay. Well, I can't understand mine. You can't understand yours, but we'll just go back and rewatch
there you go. So assignments and giveaways.
Yeah.
Just so people are focused on, if I do this, I get this, and I'm just guiding them. I'm just the guide to getting them to do the activity, and that's how they win. Because this business is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you try to sprint, it's not happening. So
I love it. And Cassandra, what about you? We've got like a minute. We got like a minute or so. So what about you? What are some of the ways that you guys have get it going again if you feel like it's down, or what are some ways you connect with your team?
So one of our favorite ways in which we really implemented within this last year that we actually learned from Ray being in TEC is having a pre-qualifier. So getting people, obviously promo contests are great, but get them to do a pre-qualifier. So to even be in the promo or participate in the contest, get them to do something really, really small, like signing up a customer, and not like a massive package, but just something that has like very minimal volume. So anybody can do it. And what you get is you get a lot of people, right, doing a little. They have FOMO if they don't do it. They know that the customer or the contest and the promo is going to be outside the Facebook group. You give them about a week's time. And then, of course, on the post, you're getting people to comment below. And some people go above and beyond. Instead of just getting one, you'll get some of those people that get 3, and everyone's congratulating each other. And it seems like so simple, but what happens is you create massive volume. Then once you get in the contest promo, you don't just have first, second, third place. You also have something for everybody, because there's some people that aren't those red personalities, right? They're not going to just go out and have those massive sales, you still want people producing and going out and getting those customers or business partners. So you have like a drawing. Hey, if you go do this, you have this. Then you also have first, second, and third. But the big thing has been pre-qualifiers, and it gets people like excited, and it gets the group going again, and massive production.
I love it. Ladies, this panel literally was the fire. Like, I can't, it just keeps getting better. How was this even possible? I don't know. Literally, the comments are insane. You guys have to see, like, they're so grateful in the comments of all your tips. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day away from your families to be here for the healers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish I could hug you, but I can't. But I can virtual kisses. And I am so grateful for all of you. All right, guys, here we grow. We've got Candace Carter coming up next. She is waiting for me, so I'm going to go over there and bring her on. The 333 and ripping off the Band-Aid with scripts is coming your way.